Patrick Gallagher, the new chancellor at the University of Pittsburgh, was officially installed in February at the university's annual honors convocation. Steve Tritch, the chairman of the Board of Trustees, noticed the scale of the footsteps he now has to fill going all the way back to 1787. And we're here, Chancellor Gallagher, back with us now. It is quite an illustrious lineup of individuals who've run this university over the years.
Yeah, it's dazzling. And I guess the best way to not be intimidated is just don't think about it and put one foot in front of the other.
I guess so. But it all was about, in the beginning, bringing higher education across the Alleghenies. I think Pitt was the first school west of the Alleghenies, and we've talked a lot about technology and all the potential there. Yeah, how important is just the good old blocking and tackling of good and delivering a good education part of all?
Well, you know, even the technology piece fits into the broader mission of the university. What I find interesting is if you think back to 1787, you know, would be really at the edge of the western frontier, and the university's founders realizing that a key to success for the region was going to be in the education of its population. So it was really a public goal. How do we make ourselves a better society, a better community, a better region? And that mission has never been more important than it is today. You know, when you distill a university's mission down to its simplest form, it's to make the world better through knowledge. And certainly technology and discovery and that plays a role, but probably the most important role of all is educating students, and having those students go out and just lead impactful lives.
You know, there's so much emphasis these days, rightly so, on STEM and technology and engineering and everything else. Liberal arts, the good old-fashioned things that universities have always done, still an important part of the mission and what you think Pitt has to be about?
Well, I'm a liberal arts guy. I was a liberal arts undergraduate myself. I actually think it's vitally important. You know, it is certainly true that science, technology, engineering, and math, STEM, play an important role because those fields are playing such an important part of our lives. As technology increasingly surrounds us and pervades everything we do, we need to be a technology literate nation. But that's not the same thing as saying that everybody needs to be a scientist, an engineer, or a mathematician. In fact, one of the interesting side effects of all of this technology is the mobility that we all have in our professional careers now. And, you know, most students now will be looking at 4 to 6 career changes over the course of their professional, their working life. And that means that we have to be lifelong learners, and there's an agility. And I think in many ways those were the core tenets of a liberal arts education, an ability to think critically, to learn new things, and it's still as powerful a platform as it always was. What's I think causing a lot of this discussion is that the pathways from some of those degrees into work, particularly for your first move, are less clear. And at a time when higher education is expensive and the need to work right away is high, I think some of those fields have been impacted by that. But my belief is they're essential to our well-being as a society, and the students who are in those degrees do exceptionally well.
I only a little bit more than a minute left, but I'm just wondering, as you think about Pitt and Pittsburgh going forward, beyond the technology and all the R&D that's so critical, how do you see the university fitting into the neighborhood in Oakland and into the community going forward as well?
Well, I think it's one of the things that most appealed to me about Pittsburgh and led to me wanting to come here is that the university and this city and this region are entwined so deeply together. I think that their fates are inextricably linked, and I think that and that shouldn't surprise us. You know, economies and regions now are knowledge driven, and that means the universities have a key role to play, and it works both ways. I think the university has to be open to the community in terms of what its needs are, and the community and region needs to be open to the possibilities that a university provides.
Yeah, only a few seconds left, but I wonder, you know, you've had the advantage of being out of Pittsburgh for a number of years, in D.C. External perceptions. How are we playing outside as a community, as a university, and is there more we can do to put Pittsburgh on the map?
Well, I think Pittsburgh is more famous than we recognize here in Pittsburgh. I think that everybody is looking to Pittsburgh and trying to understand its magic sauce. How did this city so transform itself from being, you know, at its peak an industrial powerhouse, then going through a very deep economic slump, and now rising as one of the real economic gems in the country. And I think we've captured the world's imagination. We've captured the imagination of cities and regions around the world. And we should be proud of that, but I also believe we're at the beginning of that journey, and the best is still to come.
Well, on that optimistic note, we shall end, and we'll watch you make it happen. Patrick Gallagher, the new Chancellor of Pitt, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Great. Thank you. I've enjoyed it.
And next up, downtown Pittsburgh gets its grocery store. We'll take a look and talk about what makes it such a milestone. Stay with us.